I have no mouth, but I must scream. I woke up the day after being released from the hospital to my wife saying, "You know, Daniel, pride really does come before a fall." Her voice was cold. I wasn't used to that. I picked May to marry because she was quiet and demure and followed orders. She was neither a drama queen nor one of those bitchy feminists, and she was really easy to scare back into line. She'd long since learned not to talk back to me. So what the hell was this? I opened my eyes, grunting in irritation through my bandages. I was sitting in my wheelchair. She must have been bringing me to the bathroom. My head was fuzzy from the painkillers, my muscles slack. Who knew that something as simple as a broken jaw could knock a big, strong guy like me down to a total invalid? At least May was loyal. I half expected her to run after they airlifted me off the mountainside. It was her first good chance in 5 years. But instead, here she was, seeing me through my convalescence. May was a nurse when I met her, so of course she knew what she was doing. She must have gotten the good meds from her friends at the hospital because I was having trouble staying awake. Outside, I could hear my prize hogs squealing and scuffling as they waited for their supper. I had 40 of them, each the size of a man. They took up the pen nearest the kitchen so we could feed them on leftovers, scraps, whatever we didn't want anymore. They could eat anything, even their own dead, bones and all. I cut my eyes over in the direction of their pen and grunted at her. She smiled sweetly. "I know, I've left the hogs hungry. They'll get their supper in just a minute. I've just got to bring it out to them." I managed to nod, congratulating myself on having her well trained. Waking up after my ski accident was one of the most disorienting things I ever experienced. It went like this. I smacked into a tree. The side of my face hit the trunk as I turned it away to save my nose. Everything went black. Then my eyes opened to take in a hospital ceiling. My face throbbed with pain from my upper lip down. The doc didn't have good news. The impact had shattered my jaw. My lips and tongue were mangled as well. My jaw was wired and bound shut, and what was left of my lips were sewn together. I wouldn't be able to eat solid food or speak for at least 6 weeks. The talking part was mostly because of my soft tissue injuries. All I could do was grunt. I had a feeding tube up my nose. It itched. Only when I reached up to scratch it did I realize that my arms were strapped down. May saw me notice and grinned in a way that I'd never seen. I grunted at her, glaring a promise of another beating once I was well. But she just laughed and went behind me and started pushing the wheelchair toward the kitchen door. Truth is, I haven't fed the hogs for a couple of days now. I wanted them good and hungry. Got a lot of trash to get rid of now that you're back. A cold finger of fear ran down my spine. May had never scared me before, but the crazy little shake in her voice, that gloating tone, got me very worried, very fast. 5 years of hell, Danny. She got the door open and pushed me outside. "I showed my friends the scars while you were out. You know, I thought about running, but this is better, especially once the will's out of probate." I put everything I had into struggling, but I couldn't even tip over the wheelchair. What meds had she given me? "My friends pulled some strings for me," she crooned as she wheeled me towards the pig pen. "To the rest of the world, you died last night. Complications." Oh God, I thought as I tugged weakly at my restraints. She's gone crazy. "Nobody will miss you," she told me. "The helper and I do all the work anyway." She walked around to the open gate to the pig pen. "Guess I'll be cleaning up the pig pen by myself tomorrow, though, if there's anything left." As she wheeled me in and the hogs looked up with hungry eyes, I tried my best to scream for help. All that came from my throat were muffled whimpers, even when she unstrapped me and dumped me into the mud.